There's no doubt where Jake Thomas is going to be. Not only this CFL season, he'll be with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the longest-serving member, but he joins us today. That looks like the league office to me, Jake. Welcome, by the way, to the RP show. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here at the league office, and it was a very learning morning so far.
Well, we're excited to get your story, Jake. I mean, we've been following your CFL career on the field for some time, but you're part of the league's mentor program through the Players Association, and you're wearing a suit to work every day. Can I start there? How do you like wearing a suit to work every day?
Well, I do a little bit of real estate in the off season, so I'm somewhat used to it. But I would much rather be in gear right now than wearing this suit. I don't want to move too quick and rip something up.
I get it. Trust me, I get it. But before we go any further and talk about your career, this is the latest thing. This CFL Players Association mentorship program where you're at the league office. Can you explain to the fans what the program is and what specifically you are doing with it?
Yeah, so far today we've got to meet with a few of the higher execs with the league, but basically it's going to give us an idea of a few different avenues that you can go into post football. So today we're learning about how to market the league, how the league makes the money. We get to kind of learn all the back end things. Tomorrow we have the opportunity to go to TSN, learn how kind of they broadcast, just league sponsors. Then when we get to eventually Friday, we're going to be actually at the combine there in Waterloo. So, rubbing elbows with GMs, scouts, and probably some head coaches. So what drew myself into it, unfortunately, I'm not as young as I once was. I've been in the league since I've been 21 years old. I'm 33 years old now. So that father time starting to creep up a little bit. And, I've always kind of pictured myself never fully leaving football. So I've always been interested, in front office and kind of coaching. So I thought this was just a great opportunity to get like a 4-day deep dive into how all this stuff works.
This is Winnipeg Blue Bombers defensive lineman Jake Thomas with us. It's awesome to see a guy out of his helmet, out of his pads, and in another role. But I'll ask you this. You've been in the league since 2012, as you mentioned. What have you learned? You probably thought you knew how things worked in the head office. What happened that surprised you this week in the league headquarters?
Well, we're just really getting started, but I think just how big it actually is, how many staff are actually here, how many different departments, and, just the quality of the people that they have here at the league office. I think, over the years, you don't really know how much actually goes behind it. You're so, like in Winnipeg, I know everything that goes behind it with the Bombers and who handles things like that, but never really fully know whose role that is or who runs the website, who's doing the marketing for the league. So to kind of put a name to the face, that's definitely been very unique.
I think it's awesome that they're doing that. And he is a New Brunswicker, by the way. The way you said marketing was a tell to that you're a Maritimer by trade, yeah. Jake. But now for me, the real fun stuff. You've been with Winnipeg a long time. You've seen it all, man. So talk about your time there. When you got that Grey Cup, you were the first to get it because you're the longest-serving Winnipeg Blue Bomber, which is exceptionally cool. But talk about the rise and who's responsible for it in your mind.
Yeah, so my first year in pro football, 2012, I was kind of didn't really know what to expect, but halfway through the year, our head coach is fired. 2013, our GM's fired, our CEO's fired. So I think I was thrown into the life of pro football pretty quick. Half your friends are getting cut or traded every year. But I think once we brought in Wade, he just kind of solidified a lot of things. And Kyle moving from assistant GM to GM, then them bringing in Osh. I don't think it was just one, but those three kind of pillars. And with the commitment of understanding it wasn't going to change overnight. They had a vision. They knew what type of people they wanted, and they had their pillars of what they thought would create a successful team. And I think the biggest thing in pro sports is, there's change that happens all the time. But if you don't give those coaches or management, ample time to be able to bring in their guys or bring in their core values, you're just going to be in those cycles of recycling coaches every 2 to 3 years. But I think, Wade did a great job of giving Kyle and Osh long enough ropes to see what they envisioned come to fruition.
How long do you envision yourself playing, Jake?
I take it year by year now. I would think I have a 2-year-old son who soon's going to be 3, so I think ideally I would be probably done before he's into any school that's meaningful, but I don't know. Right now it's just been so fun to keep going back. You would ask me, 5 years ago, if I thought I would still be playing, I would have said no. But we have such a great locker room there, and it's hard to walk away when the team's doing well. If this was like my first few years and we're going, 3-15, 5-13, 7-11, I'm sure I would have been done. But it's hard to walk away when you really care about the locker room and when the team's doing well. So I'm really looking forward to this year. Hopefully we can get that last game of the year figured out. But I wouldn't want to foothold myself into any timeline, but I would say a safe assumption, one to the next 2 to 3 years, we'll say.
Yeah, well, I get that, but the reason I ask, I've seen a lot of players come and go, and nothing great lasts forever. There's no reason to think the bad times are hitting in Winnipeg. You've been in the last 4 straight Grey Cups, but if you're to ride out now, you're literally pulling a Seinfeld and going out on top. That's all. Because I've had so many friends go to training camp with the Bombers as guest coaches, players that have tried out and been cut, or guys that have made the team, and they've left. They've come out of Winnipeg going, oh, my God, they got it figured out. It's culture. They're going to be good for a long time. If you could bottle what they've done, and I don't know who's responsible for culture. You mentioned Wade a few times, but if you could, in a sentence or two, describe what the Bomber culture is all about, how would you say it?
I don't know if I can keep it to a sentence or two, but I think the first thing, Osh, guys would run through the wall for Osh. And I think, secondly, he lets the room govern itself. He's not controlling everyone. He's appointed leaders. And, those guys lead the team. And then if you don't fit into the culture, you're not going to be there long.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Not try to control things and let the people take care of themselves. Jake, obviously you're a busy guy. I envy you. I think it would be fun to be part of that mentorship program. So soak it all in and enjoy the rest of the off season. Looking forward to seeing you on the field this year.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jake. Jake Thomas of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and for this week, part of the CFL Players Association mentorship program.